Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Smash them likes. Smash them likes. How are you guys feeling today? How's it going, Wolvie? How's it going, Zen? Stanton in here too. Red Panda. Benjamin. While I do get a few charts set up, you guys can help me out with a quick audio check. If the music's too loud, let me know. If my volume is too low on my end, let me know. And again, don't forget to smash the like. Helps the channel a lot. More than you know. I am well. I am well. Thank you, Stanton. How can you be anything but well when the markets are doing what it's doing? I have a few charts set up for discussion. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Julian's in here, so it's perfect. Julian, is there anything we should be talking about? I have a few altcoins that I want to talk about today that you guys are going to be interested in as well. I don't want to go through a bunch of altcoin requests today, though. Is there any specific altcoin that we should talk about, though, that you guys think is important? And please, when you're answering, think about the community, okay? Not one coin that you guys are trading. Think about what the community is going to be interested in. Yeah. Don't be selfish, guys. Community first. Virtual is something I have been keeping an eye on. Are more of you keeping an eye on it? SUI is on my list, so we will be talking about SUI today. XRP is on my list as well. All right, let's just jump into it. We'll jump to the charts and we'll lay out the agenda. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Jackson and I welcome you back to yet another Monday Mango Live. Now, this is not our usual timing where we do our lives, but I will be leaving for the rest of the week. I won't be here, so I figured I have to do a live, right? It's a freaking Monday. We're about to close a monthly. There's too much going on for me to not give you guys an update, for me to not kind of give you guys some direction on how to proceed for the rest of the week. What exactly is going to be the plan, and how am I going to be positioning for the rest of the week, right? I am or rather, how do I put this? I have just got into a position that I will be looking to build for the rest of the day as well, provided the opportunity, or I may just buy market before I leave, right? So I'll be talking about that today as well. I'll be giving you guys my invalidation for that trade based on how I will be trading it. You guys could trade it completely differently, of course. But with that, let's go ahead and give you guys an update on our Bitcoin positions and our trades. Let's see. Is the audio fine, guys? Sadly, way too less SUI in my bag, says Red Panda. Yeah, SUI just kind of ran away after claiming that 2-day dynamic, right? So we'll talk about that today too. We'll come up with a plan for how to position if you did not get into your trade on the claim of the 2-day dynamic. We'll talk about that today. All right. Let's go ahead and begin with Bitcoin on. Man, I need a freaking coffee. I think I skipped my coffee this morning. Let's start with Bitcoin on the bi-weekly dynamic. Is there anything left to say? So we just closed the bi-weekly, by the way. We just closed the bi-weekly. We're about to close a monthly. This is an important Monday. We have crazy developments on the charts. It's not the kind of chart that you'd want to see if you've been sitting on your ass, not getting into position for the 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 bi-weekly candles that Bitcoin was sitting on the bi-weekly dynamic, right? So you literally had around 8 to 10 weeks to get into position. And now if you're, I'm going to be harsh here, guys. I'm just going to be harsh, and you may not like me for saying this, okay? But you're going to remember me for saying this for the rest of your trading career. If you had around 8 to 10, albeit uncomfortable weeks to buy support, and now we've bounced off support after 10 weeks, and you're wondering, shit, I need to get into position, where should I buy? You really need to reevaluate your trading strategy, because you don't have a strategy. You have emotions that you submit to, emotions that you bow down to, and that is exactly what the markets are hoping for you to do, so that they can extract all your wealth over time. So you do one of two things: either quit because you're going to give away all your money to the markets, or two, you sit back and realize, what the hell am I doing? I'm not buying on support. I'm not buying on trend high lows. Instead, I'm chasing pumps every single time. Okay? This is the perfect recipe right now for people to be like, I can't take the pain anymore. And you do yet again, what's comfortable, right? Because over here, it was uncomfortable to buy. Now you're going to say, you know what? This is me being brave. I'm just going to buy. You live only once. You're just doing what's comfortable again. You're just doing what your emotions are asking you to do again, right? And you may get rewarded. Bitcoin may just break out, but this is the perfect recipe. If it doesn't happen this time around on this structure, it'll happen one day. It'll happen someday where Bitcoin rallies. You're like, this is it. I'm going to buy now. And so buying in support where it would have been safer, and then does this. You're like, shit, I bought here. Nah, it bounced last time. It's going to bounce again. And it'll do this. You're like, yeah, see? And boom. 34,000, right? I'm not saying this is happening, by the way. I'm not positioned for this. I'm trying to say that if it doesn't happen in this asset, it's going to happen on another asset. You really need to just sit back. Okay, you know what? If you guys did not buy because you thought support was broken, because you thought trend was broken, fine. Looking at different indicators and you're following your indicators, provided you're not indicator switching throughout your freaking cycle, right? Man, I was supposed to do analysis today, and of course I go on a freaking rant. Fuck it. This is what I do, guys. This is what I do. Provided that you were sticking to those indicators, whatever you picked throughout your cycle, okay? what a lot of newbies do, in fact, a lot of I don't call them intermediate traders. They're intermediate in terms of how long they've spent in the market. I see people who have spent more time than me in the markets, but they're still making mistakes as though they've been trading only for around 6 months, right? They'll constantly switch strategies, thinking that they are smarter than the market at every juncture. They know exactly what the market is about to do, so they'll switch their strategy for what the market is about to do. No, that's not a strategy. The whole point of a strategy is to encapsulate a series of trades. So, going back to what I was saying, provided that you were following the same indicator over here that allowed you to find success throughout this period, and then over here, that same indicator told you, nope, you gotta get out, you gotta sell, blah, blah, blah. I commend you. I'm with you. You should be doing that. It doesn't matter what the Mango Dynamic Bi-Weekly says, because that's what we are following, right? That's what we are doing. That's our strategy. Our strategy is our own. But if you were following the strategy with us and you're buying here and then selling here, are you really following the strategy with us? No, you're following your emotions and just watching the strategy, right? You're watching the strategy play out. You're like, okay, now I'll buy it. It's going to keep going. But look at what the market's been doing to you guys, okay? It's been pumping. You missed it at the low. It comes back down. Or you'll buy here first, okay? You'll buy here. It'll come back down. You're like, oh, shit. I'm selling. But it's come back down to support. And it'll rally again. Each time it rallies, you guys buy, right? Hoping that it'll just keep going up in a straight line. Why? Because you guys are looking back to 2017. You guys are looking back to 2021. That's what Bitcoin did, just a straight line, right? But what this market has been doing is a beautiful trend. It goes up, it rallies, it comes down, and you guys sell again. It rallies, you guys buy, comes down, you guys sell again. It rallies, you guys buy, comes down, you guys sell again. You guys just wanted to keep going up like this, and eventually you will be rewarded for that, but that's not a recipe for long-term success. And are you guys in this game to gamble, hoping for that move to eventually play out? Are you guys in this game to actually make it fucking work? Like, come to terms with it, or you're going to give away all your money if it's not now, eventually. Alright, so bi-weekly held, it bounced off, and now a lot of people want to know whether they should buy now. I don't think so. I mean, it's difficult though, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing. You got to choose your discomfort at all times. Okay, at all times. I don't want to say that there's no way at all that you can enter over here. That's not true, because you could have had a strategy saying that I'm only going to buy on strength. I want to see strength. I want to see Bitcoin bounce off this, and then I'm going to be buying. Okay, it shouldn't have been. No, I think Bitcoin is going to lose the support, even though it's holding it right now. I think it's going to lose it based on what? No, because of my feelings. It can't be that. It should be, I want to buy on strength because I don't believe in this asset. I have no fundamental conviction in this asset. I only buy momentum. I don't want to buy strength, and I'm not willing to play the longer time frames. I'm only going to be playing the mid to lower time frames. That's essentially what you are saying when you don't buy higher time frame support, or you're not buying high time frame trend high low support, right? Because that's what this is. It's trend support and it's support. So if you're not buying that, you should be saying I'm only going to be playing momentum. Now, is there a path forward from there? Yes, there is. We'll circle to that. We'll come back to that. Remind me if I forget. But before we do that, I do want to give the higher time frame traders what they want to know, or what they want to see. So I like this picture over here, guys. Even if you look down at the Mango Equilibrium Tracker over here, by the way, for those of you who don't know, the Mango Equilibrium Tracker comes with the Mango Dynamic. So in case you guys did purchase the Mango Dynamic and don't have access to Mango Equilibrium Tracker yet, make sure to PM me or Krisha, and you'll get access to this too. We have really nice equilibrium. It's green. The bands are wrapped around the volatility. It's a nice setup. It's a nice setup too, right? It's a setup for continuation. I like it. We are sandwiched between this high time frame resistance is coming up, but we did clear this neckline over here at 93,000. Really good. Something bigger that I've been watching, even bigger than I wouldn't say bigger than the bi-weekly dynamic, but a higher time frame, very important chart that I talked about last live stream and the previous live streams as well, is this chart, Bitcoin against gold. We've been watching this and really keenly, because we were looking for Bitcoin to close above. Remember guys, this is against gold. So Bitcoin could have shown strength against USD and still lost the Mango dynamic on the monthly over here because gold was just stronger. Okay, and while that may not show direct weakness on Bitcoin, there's been strong edge by just following the Bitcoin against gold chart to nail an earlier signal on bear markets coming in, right? It played out over here. We lost the Mango dynamic on the monthly, and then we had a long bear market. Remember, this is Bitcoin against gold. Because if you look at Bitcoin against USD on the monthly, I'll show it to you right here actually. This is the monthly, right? The dynamic is nowhere close on the USD chart. It's nowhere close. But if you look at it against gold, right? Bitcoin threatened to lose it. Just like a couple of weeks ago, we were living underneath it, right? And I showed the chart to you guys. I'm like, guys, this could be a signal, an earlier signal compared to the USD chart. Even back over here when we finally lost it, here, right? We tested it, bounced, and then we finally lost it here. Get one more retest for an exit, right? And that was your sell. Like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months before the final breakdown, the 6K breakdown. Over here too, we lost it, and then we came back in, tested the top of the Mango dynamic on the monthly against gold, and then we had the COVID dump. Go back in history, this has been strong edge. Lost it over here, massive bear market, right? Until we claimed it again somewhere around here, and then you do the same thing in reverse, accumulate throughout this period. So it's been strong edge, right? And while this alone would not have been enough for me to sell everything, it would have been a big red flag if Bitcoin did not show strength against gold. And listen to my words, okay? Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying if Bitcoin did not hold support against USD or Bitcoin was showing weakness. Neither of that is relevant over here on this chart, because Bitcoin could show strength while still being weak on this chart, right? Which would mean Bitcoin is not showing strength against gold. And I think that is going to be something very important to keep an eye on moving forward, maybe perhaps for the next like 4 to 6 years, right? In fact, in my opinion, you could judge every asset against this metric at this moment, right? I'll go into a while in another stream. We don't have time for that. How much time have we already spent? 20 minutes. I'm not even past Bitcoin yet. I thought this was going to be a quick stream. So much for that. So yeah, we're holding, and we're holding well. Bitcoin did what it needed to do just in time. This is great, right? So I'd love to see, we had this drawn out like a few months ago, or maybe around 6 to 8 weeks ago. I'd love to see this play out. Like, am I trying to forecast this? No, this is what I'm saying I'd love to see play out. And it could happen in multiple ways. It could happen with gold coming down and Bitcoin just drifting sideways or slightly up. So yeah, important chart, holding. The month is closing in 2 days and 16 hours. I like what I'm seeing. Bitcoin looking good on the bi-weekly dynamic right over here. Oh, right. Our cup and handle move that we drew in last June, last year. First target was here, this red zone. Second target is up here. I'm holding out for the second target or the middle of these two targets, right? Which would be somewhere around $149,000, give or take, right? So one of those two I'm holding out for. I wasn't too keen on selling into the first target. So I'm looking for a little bit of an overextension. I could be wrong. These are just like my rough targets. You guys got to play according to your strategies, right? I could be wrong on my upside target. It could be higher, right? It could go way past 149, 150. So we'll talk about how to decide your exit later, or maybe in the C Clubhouse sessions where I have more time to like go into nitty gritty of things. So yeah, write down your questions, seedlings, and accordingly we'll target them. Any questions before I move on? Hey Krisha, good to see you in here. The beautiful, the gorgeous Aphrodite. I think the problem some people have is they pay too much heed to sentiment on Twitter. Yeah, sentiment on Twitter, narratives in general are just pointless. They're fun. They're great talking points. You should not be making any of your investment or trading decisions based on narrative, because they are the most lagging indicators out there. Wolvie says, I agree. I remember it was quite difficult too, and it took a long time to really trust the chart above anything else. Yeah, it didn't take me as much time as other folk, especially considering how strongly I believed in fundamentals. Right, I came into the markets with a fundamental belief, fundamental approach first, because I have a background in computer science. Right, I have a bachelor's in computer science, a master's in computer science, and ontology engineering and artificial intelligence. So I understand distributed systems. It was very, very tempting to use my FA background, and by the way, I got into the crypto space because I was going to do my PhD in this field. So it was very tempting. That's why Mango Research came to be. By the way, guys, the term Mango Research, or rather the name Mango Research, was because of my research in the field. But the more I watched the charts, I just realized that no, the indicators are leading the fundamentals. Period. I had to come to terms with it. So I made a hard switch. I turned from one side to the other side overwhelmingly, and it's the best thing I did. Guys, Wolvie is a testament of how handsomely you can be rewarded for following your strategy, right? Throughout this entire period, right? I think since like around December, Jan, he had a thesis for Bitcoin coming down to around $74,000 based on a setup that he was showing on the C Clubhouse sessions over and over and over and over again. And even when Bitcoin came down all the way here, the first test to around 79,000, he held firm and he's like, no, I think it's going to come down lower and it's going to hit my targets because of his setup. He stayed true to his strategy. That's what a strategy is, guys. When you follow it over, like, and by the way, there was a period where it did not work out. I think it was maybe here. Anyway, the point of strategy is to follow it. Whenever the setup is there, you keep playing the setup, right? Because in the long run, the setup will reward you handsomely. And guess what? He got filled on his bid. He literally got the bottom of this entire move, right? And now look at him. He's sitting pretty, he's sitting stress-free, and he's probably noticing it too now. His mind is opened up to all these other opportunities. The momentum effect you get from getting the first big trade right is massive. It's massive. Because suddenly, you're not waking up stressed watching the asset that you missed. You're not spending mental equity on an asset that you messed up on, right? Whether it be not selling when you're supposed to, because think about it, when you don't sell when you're supposed to, when you get the exit and the asset keeps going down, how mentally anguishing is that? You're sitting and staring at the charts and then realizing, man, had I just sold over there, I would have been better off. I'll just wait for it to come there again. I'll just wait for it to come up a bit higher, and it goes down lower and lower. And each time you wish that you could have just sold a few hours ago or a day ago, right? And all that mental equity, all that time could have been used finding a new asset, right? This time, Wolvie was the first one to identify SUI, BTC, and some other Bitcoin pairings. Why? Because he freed up mental equity. So important. Good job, Wolvie. I'm so proud of you, man. All right. Next chart. This lets us segue really well. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
If I tell you say I love you, no day for me younger, no younger, no tell me no 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 no, oh 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 oh, baby come give me a lo.
Red Panda says, "You are right, Sean. It can be mentally hard, but then at the end, I still see the profit I did make. Then the mood changes, and still, yeah, exactly. 71, eh? You think so? It looks like it wants to reach. Like, if you guys are just looking at this like a simple coin, right? Let's forget its Bitcoin dominance. It's pretty obvious at this juncture, right? Maybe we can see something like this. You could make an argument for this, I guess. Use a calculator, maybe. Okay. It's a stretch, by the way, guys. This is a stretch, but I could see an argument for something like this. But if we do break this, then I see an argument for this too. The flip side, which you guys are not gonna like. What is this? Oh god, 107%. This sharp breaks, man. Our strategy at Mango has been very simple. We're not trying to be. Our strategy was this: we are not smarter than the market. We are going to play the direction of the market, and as long as Bitcoin dominance is holding its monthly trend to the upside, we are going to be 90 to 95% Bitcoin. Simple, okay? And that 5% to 10% that you're going to allocate towards altcoins, you're going to only be in strong coins that are outperforming Bitcoin, right? So you want to be in the few winners. If Bitcoin dominance is doing this, by the way, it goes hand in hand that there's only going to be a few winners, right? The corollary of that is that there's only going to be a couple of winners in the market that are kind of holding up the altcoin market. So if Bitcoin dominance is holding its monthly trend, what Mango and the community does is we stay 90 to 95% Bitcoin, and that 5 to 10% is focused on only strong coins. Now, we'll talk about XRP today, and we'll talk about SUI today. But there's one more coin that I did take a position in that I recommend you guys not take a position in. I'm just going to show you guys the setup. I like the setup. I think there's a good trade to the top of the range, so stay tuned for that one. Is the music too loud? I asked you guys like 10 times, and now you tell me? Towards the end of the stream? Is that better? Or maybe the music got loud, eh? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's no one's fault. Maybe it's just the music. Thank you, Stanton, for letting me know. Appreciate it. Alright. So Bitcoin dominance is still in an uptrend. I know Stanton wants to pick lows. I know you, Stanton. I know you. Not yet. We can pick good-looking coins though, and something I asked you guys to do as an exercise, or to pick your altcoins. Last live stream or 2 live streams ago was to go onto the Mango dashboard, okay, and filter out all the coins against Bitcoin. So essentially, if you just click on this little button over here, by the way, for those of you who don't know, you can find this at app.mangoresearch.co. There's a freemium version as well as a premium version. The premium version comes with access to the Mango view special features, as well as the premium videos as well. But you can also get premium access by using the invite link. There's a link where you can invite friends, a referral link, right? That's what it's called, referral link. So yeah, app.mangoresearch.co. So what you can do is click on the Bitcoin button right over here, and it's going to filter out all your pairings against Bitcoin. And what you want to look for is coins that are long against Bitcoin. Okay, and three of the coins that we mentioned was SUI, Sol, and I believe it was XRP. Right, the third coin was XRP. All of them have done fantastic over the past few days, but SUI especially so. Right, it's done 25% against Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, guys, Bitcoin has rallied a good like 20% from its lows, right? At $20,000. Oh, I want to talk about this too. We just claimed Bitcoin on the weekly 10K, and I'll come back to this. But let's go back here. Yeah, 27%. So SUI has outperformed Bitcoin by another 25%. So I really like SUI. Its momentum against Bitcoin. Wolvie was talking about it in the C chat as well. As soon as it did claim the trend against the Bitcoin pairing as well, and it's claimed the trend against the USD pairing as well. Let's start with SUI actually over here, because SUI has been one of our easiest trades this entire cycle. We've taken this trade like twice now, and this is going to be the third time. Now I only have a starter position in this. I don't have like an actual position. I'm in the same position as you guys, waiting for a higher low. But I do have a starter position that we will talk about in regards to how to increase it in a bit. But I want to talk about this trade. It's been a very simple strategy, right? Essentially, claim the 2-day dynamic, look for upside. Over here too, claim the 2-day dynamic, look for upside. Now, in the first trade over here, we had a target of $2, and we exit when the 2-day dynamic. So this was the trade up. $2 target, and hold the trade until the 2-day dynamic is lost. So you always go with a risk first approach. You always go with an invalidation first approach, right? So if $2 was not hit, I would not just hold on to my trade regardless of whether the 2-day dynamic held or not, right? So let's say we shot up over here and we came down and we lost the 2-day dynamic over here. I wouldn't hold my trade, because the 2-day dynamic is my invalidation. It is my trade. Without that, I have nothing to hold on but hope, because I'd be hoping that the price will correct again and hit my target. Your target, guys, is irrelevant. What's most important is your invalidation. Your target hits and you're like, okay, cool, I'll take some profits here, I'll take all my profits here. That's going to be on you. The most important thing that you do not make any compromises on is your invalidation. That's what you guys should always be focused on. What happened in the first trade was both happened. We hit our $2 target, and then we lost our 2-day dynamic right around our target. The most convenient thing you could have as a trend trader, right? The second time around, what ended up happening was our target was $7.50, and SUI trended against the 2-day dynamic, 2-day, and then we finally lost it over here at around $4.14. So we did not hit the target. What did I tell you guys? I said, guys, I don't care that the target's not hit. I'm out of the trade. It's unfortunate. I'm not married to this coin, and my ego is not married to my targets. I always tell you guys, my targets are irrelevant. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm gunning for. I hope it gets there. But if the trend is lost, I'm out. Okay, I'm out, because my profits are more important to me than my ego. Targets are just ego, right? You don't know. What if it hit 750 and I kept going after that? Right? I'd look stupid either way, right? So targets are just there for you to decide how much profits to take. Nothing else. So we lost the 2-day dynamic over here. Came again, same story. Trended perfectly both times, by the way, guys. The 2-day dynamic was not just a good long trade. It was a good short trade as well. Tested, claimed. If you just went all in on the first claim, that would have been the better thing to do. I did not do that, right? I was looking back, and over here too, if you went all in, you would have been fine. Over here too, for that matter. Yes, price came back down, but if you believe in SUI, you had conviction in SUI, then that would have been the better play, because you would have been okay holding on to any high lows into the break of the trend, right? Because often you'll see the trend get claimed, you'll see it put in a high over here, and then a higher low somewhere around here, then a high like that, and then go, right? We had the recipe though this time around for a complete lockout, because so many people are out of the market this time. So yeah, invalidation greater than hope. Exactly, Julian. Exactly. Now, what's the plan? What do we do? How do we look for a trade? How do we look for either entering the trade if you're completely out, or adding to your position if you manage to get a starter position on the first claim over here. What I'll do is I'll look at the 4-day. 4-day is pretty high too. Bitcoin did the same thing, by the way. Remember how in the previous run we were using SUI as a gauge to judge what Bitcoin would do, and worked out really well? I think this time around we can do something very similar, but the other way around for now, until that dynamic flips and SUI starts leading again. But SUI to me has always been one of the leaders, but this time Bitcoin kind of set the tone, because Bitcoin did the same thing. Because while we were looking for Bitcoin to claim the 2-day as well, which we got that idea from SUI, by the way. Let's go here, right? You guys are going to see Bitcoin claimed the 2-day, and it's not giving you the retest at all. But if you go ahead and look at the 4-day, you'd expect it to have at least sandwiched between the 2-day and the 4-day and seen resistance on the 4-day. But nope, it claimed the 4-day too. Like in one move, claimed the 4-day and the 2-day. So you're kind of thinking, oh damn, now I don't have a higher low opportunity without pain on either of the time frames. So you got to be patient. SUI too, I think you're going to be patient for the 4-day dynamic retest. So either 314 to 280, that would be a potential bid zone for high low. And that's all this is, guys, a high low. Losing this does not mean SUI ends up being invalidated. Losing the 2-day would be, right? So we can do this then for now. Okay. I'll keep you guys updated on the SUI 2-day dynamic trade. Make sure to hit the like and the subscribe if you guys want to stay updated on this. But again, the 2-day dynamic, if it gives us the same freaking trade 3 times in the same cycle, it's a gift. It's a gift. I'll take it. I'll be patient. Imagine if SUI just hits our target now of 750 without giving us a single high or low. Oh man, that'd be pain. Okay, XRP. Let's talk about XRP. Now, XRP is the weirdest, most confusing community ever. I don't, if you guys are here, explain this to me. You guys had the strongest chart in all of crypto. It looked stronger than even Bitcoin. But for some reason, you guys found reason to be sad, depressed, angry, anxious, and start turning on each other. Like, this thing has only been going sideways. You guys need to understand, all these nominal numbers that you guys are looking at, whether it's sitting at 3 or sitting at around $2, is nothing compared to the volatility on the chart. This is sideways movement. Look at every other chart, okay? You guys need to stop, if you guys want to succeed in this markets, stop thinking nominally and look at structure. Do this, okay? Remove, I do this exercise with Krisha often where I ask her to not look at the timeline, okay? Not look at the timeline, look at the line chart. And just draw out where you think price is going to go to, or just draw squigglies, and you'll be shocked at the numbers. Because in crypto, the nominal numbers will shock you. But if you just look at the volatility, will like shake you out of your position, because you're taking that number and comparing it to real life, right? You're basically looking at your entire stash, looking at a lose value, gain value, and you're thinking about, and this is prospect theory at its finest. Whenever you lose a certain amount, you're comparing it to what you could have done with that money in real life. But if you had to gain the same amount, you're like, nah, that's not enough. I want more, right? Prospect theory, essentially, is the phenomenon where the pain that you feel when losing X dollars is more than the feeling of good that you feel, feeling of good, whatever, that joy that you feel when you gain the same amount, right? So I think that's what gets a lot of you guys shooken out of good positions, because in my opinion, XRP looks stronger than even Bitcoin. Look at this thing. It looks like a bull flag compared to what the rest of the market did. The rest of the market did this. Let's find. Okay, the rest of the market did this. They had their consolidation, did this, and they did this. They did this. They went lower than, let's say, 41 cents. If XRP did what the rest of the market did, XRP would have been here. But XRP is still sitting in the bull flag. Like, I don't understand you guys. Be happy, rejoice. You guys should be shitting on the rest of the market and having your celebration lap, right? You freaking hold up the torch and say XRP won, because you guys have had a great freaking bear market. It's looked so good, so good. Yeah, let's go back to the TA though. To me, XRP has always been played on the high time frames. I think you playing it on the low time frames is what's causing people to lose out on this trade. Because I remember I did a duo video with Krisha on XRP, and I said I'm just going to be waiting for XRP to come down to the bi-weekly dynamic, and it seemed so far away at the time, and almost came down on this dump over here. I was like, it's gonna get there. This low is gonna get tapped. This low is gonna get tapped. I kept saying this for weeks after weeks. I was shocked that it didn't, and finally got tapped. Even then, it took a freaking trade war, right, or whatever you want to call this, for this to happen. And look at the way it got picked up. Really strong chart. Really strong chart. Bi-weekly dynamic still holding. Hell, the weekly dynamic was barely lost for 1 week. 1 week was all the bears could do on this chart. So strong. So strong. I know nothing about XRP. I don't know anything about its fundamentals. I just know that this looks phenomenal. I gave my thoughts on ETH in the last live stream. We don't have time to do ETH again, but ETH hit my 3-year target finally. Like 3 years I've been waiting for this to hit. So let's go ahead. We can look at BTC. It's just that the way it hit it is not convincing me at all. For like, so somewhere around, we got bearish on ETH this juncture, right? The same trade that we put on Sol, by the way, right? Sol BTC, same thing, right? It's like I have these setups I repeat year after year after year after year, right? So ETH BTC was this juncture over here, and if I go up to Sol BTC, you guys will see the same thing. Same thing, right? So we have these inflection points that you look for, especially on the Bitcoin pairings, and then Sol BTC has been in a downtrend ever since. Maybe it will show more strength than ETH, but I want to see it to believe it. ETH BTC, we had this inflection point here, then we had this inflection point over here, and I told myself that I'll be looking for this target all the way down at 0.017. Everyone laughed at me, everyone thought it was ridiculous. The chart is the chart. It does not make concessions for anyone, okay, including Bitcoin. But I told myself at the time that when it comes down there, you should be buying, Sean. But you will make excuses to not buy. And I'm already making excuses to not buy, right? Now, I got a small start position just so I don't feel like a complete moron. But I'm already making excuses to not go heavy on this. And I feel like I'm going to regret it. So I go through the same emotions that you guys do. I know the emotions I'm going to go through. I even tell myself what emotions I'm going to go through it. And I go through them anyways. It's hard, right? But you got to battle them. The way I'm battling this, right, is by telling myself that, Sean, you have another rule that supersedes this rule, which is Bitcoin dominance is at 90 to 95%. So you guys getting a peek into my mindset right now, what I think about things in the how I think about things in the shower when I'm deliberating how I position. So I'm telling myself, you have a bigger rule where Bitcoin dominance is at 90 to 95%, and you have to only be in strong coins, and this is not showing me strength. Period. Right? So this is one of those scenarios where I'll be like, I want to see strength on it. I want to see a bounce. I want to see something like this, and I'm willing to give it up. I'm willing to give up that gain to get that, to see that strength. And by then, by the way, Bitcoin dominance will also begin to flip around, right? So I'll get both. And I'll buy the higher low. That's how I'm looking at this. I wasn't supposed to talk about ETH. You baited me into talking about ETH. God damn you. But yeah, that's how I'm looking at this. Yeah. My trades and my setups are like months, often years in the making. So it's hard to fully those of you who've been following Mango for a while now, you guys know fully. You guys know entirely what I'm talking about, right? But for those of you who are new, make sure you don't miss my vids. I don't do them that often anymore, but don't miss my vids. Do I still believe in alt season? I don't think I ever believed in alt season. Like, I believe in the markets, man. Like, you don't hope for the markets to give you something. The markets are giving you something. Trade what the markets are giving you at the time. Because if you always wait for alt season, you're basically saying, I'm waiting for everything to go up and I want to absolve responsibility completely. I just want to win no matter what. That's what alt season means to people. That you can throw money at the wall and you'll win. I don't know whether I want to believe in that. I think we should build good habits, because what you think crypto all season markets will last for all time? Imagine if it were that easy. You're here watching this video, right, Jesse? You're watching this video, you're putting in the time to watch this live stream. You're not the kind of person that fits that demographic of all season, because all season are people who are literally, they don't care about crypto. They don't care about any of the values over here. They only come in for those few months where they throw in all the money that they saved in throughout the summer or whatever and just dump it, and then they leave again, right? You're here watching a live stream, watching a guy with freaking curly hair who probably doesn't know anything, who doesn't know what he's talking about. You're trying to learn, right? You don't fit that demographic. You shouldn't care about all season. You should be like, whoa, I care about things that the normies don't. So I want to direct that energy into learning and getting better at this field, and maybe even translating these skills into different markets, because there will be different markets that are going to show up. All right, enough lecturing. The final coin, the coin that I put a position on this morning, SPX 6900. It just claimed a key level on the weekly. It's a very, very, very simple trade. I'm going to be looking for it to get at least to around $1 to $1.98. So that's a good move. If you do get a retest of this neckline over here, that could be a good 100% move, right? Yeah, 105% move. The invalidation though on this one is all the way down here. Now, this is just my first target. I think this, if it plays out well, could actually claim, retest, and do something like this, right? I'm looking for a complete reversal on this one, so you gotta be very careful, because the invalidation is all the way down at 42 cents. That means that's a 50% drawdown before you know you are wrong on this one, or rather before I know I'm wrong on this one. The reason I'm playing it this way, at the moment, at the very least, I could morph my trade when I get back, but I'm not going to be here for the rest of the week, right? So I'm giving it more leeway. A way you guys could play it is by using this horizontal over here, the flat of the Tenkin, right? And if we do lose this level here, we can maybe draw on a zone. Okay, right here. If you lose that zone, you could just exit. But just know this, that many trades this cycle have been having these breakouts, right, out of the range. And then what they do is they break back into the range, put in a high-low into the range, and then do this. So just that's the risk of having your invalidation at the top of the range for this entire cycle. Okay, this has been a very, very high probability fake out where it breaks back into the range. Now, we don't know if it's going to come down. It could just keep going. I'm hoping it keeps going, because that'd be the easiest play for me. All right. ADA. Oh yeah, ADA. For ADA, what you guys want to do is look at the monthly. USDT. Why is it not showing? Trading views being. I think TradingView is down. My internet seems fine. And I need to go grab coffee. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is what you guys do for ADA. Okay. I post a screenshot on our Discord, the mangoway.com/Discord, but what you need to be following is the monthly Mango dynamic on ADA. TradingView is being extremely slow at the moment, but it's holding really well. If you guys do remember, I was on this red candle over here too. I really liked ADA because it was sitting straight up on Mango, on the monthly Mango dynamic, which means though, you got to give this months to play out, right? When we did have this rally over here, I wasn't too bullish at all because we rallied right into resistance and made no sense to be bullish over here when you should be buying at that level over here. And most people want to buy over here. That's the story of ADA, right? People only get interested, usually people only get interested on these huge pumps. I'm glad to see that you're interested right now because it is sitting on Mango dynamic support. If you guys, I'll post a screenshot, but it's coming right underneath here, something like this. It's looking really good. Or is it like this? Something like that. I'm forgetting. This is a good time to be looking to buy it, as long as it holds the monthly. You got to position though in a way where you're allowing the monthly to play out. If you just position in a way where you're just gonna get emotional each time, there you go. This is monthly dynamic, right? So it's holding really well. Wicked off the bottom of the monthly dynamic as well. Held it. It's holding it again for the third month. Yeah, this is your buy zone and nothing else. Alright guys, I'm done. I'm exhausted. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I gotta go grab a coffee. I'll see you guys in the next one. I won't be here all week, but I will be on our Discord. You guys can find us at themangoway.com/Discord. Thank you all for joining. Keep it mango, keep it easy, keep it stress free. Ciao.